Oh, hey! It's been a while. Okay, so you know those moments where you leave your keys inside your car and then you get locked out?
What better way to celebrate completing a Nuzlocke than with a nice light nap on the roof? Yep. Now to just sit back and relax. Well, shit.
But I did find this.
Shit. Oh, Nintendo64.
So we're gonna take a look at it. You know, that's what we do here. Do you expect anything else? This is it. 1996. Quality topical content we got here. Going back to 1996, baby!
Whoa, nice graphic!
Released in America in 1996, the Nintendo 64 is Nintendo's first 64-bit console, and IGN's 9th greatest console of all time. Now I found that on a site that looked like this, so you know, take that as you will. Now the first thing we gotta talk about is the look of this system, because if this is anything, it's a console. I'm not wrong. One thing to note about the console is that it's very lightweight and easy to carry. Personally myself, I keep a Nintendo 64 in my car at all times, just in case I get attacked. Can never be too safe. This neighborhood, it got ruined ever since PlayStation came in here. You never know. You never know. Something else I like about the design is the Nintendo 64 logo on the front of the console. I really like when companies put these small touches on the system. But what modern consoles don't capture is the magical sensation of pressing those buttons and flicking those switches on the hardware. Honestly, this reset button is so satisfying to press. But you can't have a console without having a controller, and these are just weird. Now obviously everyone talks about the 3-prong problem that this controller has, and for good reason. Every position I hold this controller with feels cramped, except for my hands on either side, but then I can't use the joystick. I have to deal with this monstrosity. And while D-pads are fine, this was the era of 3D games. People want to walk in every direction, not 4 restrictive ones. What do I look like to you, a chess player?
Don't answer that.
But speaking of movement, let's talk about the joystick. Because while it does work, it's a bit primitive. It's hard to make subtle movements with it, and also apparently burned off some skin or whatever, but I gotta be sneaky when I play Kirby and the Crystal Shards, goddammit!
Oh my god. Oh no.
I just realized that I forgot to put on this sweatshirt that would make a lot of sense if I wore it for this video, so just, you know, ignore the fact that I haven't been wearing it this whole time, and we can go on with our lives, okay? Okay. Ugh. Cool. But a controller ain't nothing without some nice pressing buttons. And these are... they're fine. Like, they feel fine, just not satisfying to press. And the size differences between the C buttons and A and B buttons take some time to get used to. Honestly, this controller is just fine. It's not great, and it gets in the way for some games, but for others, it blends really well. But enough messing around, none of this means jack diddly squat without some games, and I picked out only the best. And by that I mean I picked 3 games based off whatever random rules I set, and that is, 1 game made by Nintendo, 1 acclaimed game made by an outside company, and 1 just for fun. Now to start us off, I got Namco Museum, but we got 6 games to go through, so I'm gonna rapid fire most of these. Also, some things to note is that 1, emulation runs fine on all of these, so I'll be judging them more on how they work with the controls and feel of the console. And 2, all these games can use either the D-pad or the joystick, so I played all games with both control methods. Now let's begin! Now even though the original Pac-Man arcade used a joystick, using one here feels absolutely horrible, and I wouldn't even subject my worst enemy to this monstrosity. Unless my worst enemy is this joystick, in which case, You have to suffer with me. Same thing as Pac-Man, except with 90% more. This actually feels good with both the D-pad and the joystick. I don't know how they did it. What exactly is the difference between this and Galaga? I pray to God I never meet anyone in real life who willingly chooses to use the D-pad to play a racing game. This is a rare one that I feel doesn't work well with both the joystick and the D-pad. This could be this specific system's controllers, but this game just doesn't feel right. So overall, Namco Museum works well enough with the controls to still stay true to the arcade classics, and be fun.
It's me, from the future. I couldn't get anybody to... There's another car going by. Hey, what's going on? It's me, from the future. I couldn't get anybody to record this part, so I'm just doing it myself.
Oh, wow. Shadows of the Empire. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, I get it. Everyone loves this game, but my hands cannot do this. They're so cramped. I always feel like I'm trying to rip the controller in half just to feel like I can play the game. God damn it. Oh shit. Now I didn't play that much of this game, I just wanted a quick first impression. But from what I played, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the Hoth level, and while trying to trip the AT-AT is awkward, I still don't think any game got that fully down. The controls work well enough, and the game's dated, but still fun. Now that that's all out of the way, it's time to talk about the game that defined this console. I'm talking Star Fox 64. And holy shit, does this game age beautifully. My hands are still in the same position as Shadows of the Empire, but I don't even feel it, the game controls so well. Everything is so satisfying, and it honestly feels like the whole console was made just as an excuse to create this game. That's it, isn't it? You did all this just for Star Fox 64. Cause if so, do it again, I want more. If I had to think of downsides, I guess you could say the graphics, but that's just what happens over time. Plus, you could just play the remake on 3DS. Either way, you owe it to yourself to play Star Fox 64. So the Nintendo 64 has shown a lot of its age. Its controllers will forever live in video game infamy, and a lot of its games have suffered from early 3D game-itis. But some of its software is goddamn incredible. Overall, I give the Nintendo 64 a 6.4. You see what I do there? It's funny because it's 64. It's got this just 60 out of 10. Now, if you excuse me, I need to play some Star Fox 64.
Do a barrel roll!
He said it! We got it! Barrel roll!
Hey, whoa, didn't even see you there. What are you doing? Are you here because we completed the video and now I get to shoot off this confetti cannon because... Oh! Oh, look at that! Oh, it's all blowing in the